I'm Allendale's chief meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. As we take a look at the latest situation unfolding across the United States, rain continues in the middle of the country. Eastern Kansas, eastern Oklahoma now getting the brunt of the heavy rain, but we still see another batch of thunderstorms starting to fire off and brew in the Texas Panhandle. And it looks like there's a little line that wants to aid the formation of thunderstorms going from there right on up through extreme western Oklahoma and maybe to near a thunderstorm cluster that's starting around the Hays, Kansas area. So we're still looking at good moisture across a good chunk of the hard red winter wheat belt all the way back into northeast Colorado. And we've got 2 more days of this, tomorrow and, you know what, I think Saturday as well. The best time frames for moisture will be each of the next few nights, tonight and tomorrow night. That's probably when we see the key thunderstorms developing, and that's when we're also going to be seeing heavy rains. You know, last night the rains over parts of Kansas were so heavy that we saw flash flood warnings issued in southwest Kansas. I don't know when the last time that I've been able to say those words has been, but it's been a while. And as we go through the night tonight, looking at moderate to heavy rains again. Now, the thing is, the coverage is not going to be all that spectacular. For example, yesterday you had the rains that were real heavy during the overnight period in southwest Kansas and then central Kansas, but it missed some areas as well. One person gets an inch, one person gets a tenth. That's the same setup here. I will say where the rains start, they're likely going to move over the same area hour after hour, so that's what's going to lead to the heavy rains. This entire moisture complex works eastward over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours. I think we're going to be seeing scattered showers start to come into Iowa, Missouri, southern parts of Minnesota. In fact, Missouri may see heavier thunderstorms this afternoon yet in western Missouri. But the western Corn Belt will start to see action fill in tomorrow. Looks like Saturday will be the key time frame for that moisture work across central and eastern Corn Belt locations, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. And we've got 2 systems converging. You got that southern moisture, and then you got the frontal boundary that's coming through the northern plains. It's been triggering some light showers over eastern parts of North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and it's also bringing some colder air in. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Temperatures well below normal as we go through the weekend in the northern plains. Sunday is going to be below normal over the Corn Belt. In the northern plains, I think we could see a couple of nights of temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. Daytime highs no better than the 50s to low 60s. Over the Corn Belt, 60s likely the story for Sunday, and then we'll get temperatures to bounce back. But we are looking at a nice cool push here. Precipitation this weekend over the Corn Belt, I like half to 1 inch rainfall totals, but I will grant you in areas with thunderstorms, I'm particularly concerned about Missouri, maybe southern parts of Illinois. We could exceed that 1 inch level, at least by some, if not a lot. So we'll keep an eye out for maybe some 2 inch rainfall totals there thanks to thunderstorms. Next week looks dry across most of the Corn Belt and at least the first few days of the week back in the plains as well. In the Corn Belt, I like a lack of moisture from Sunday afternoon, basically right on through Thursday. We may see some hit-and-miss scattered showers around in the Corn Belt, but coverage will be no better than 30%. Amounts are going to be minor. Most of those will come in the period from the 4th through the 6th. Back in the plains, I'm looking for 5 straight days of dry weather from Sunday through Wednesday along and south of I-80. North of I-80, I think we'll see some thunderstorms develop probably Tuesday into Wednesday, Nebraska, and into the Dakotas. On Thursday, that front that triggers those may sneak down into Kansas, but I don't think it runs through the entire southern plains. So good news here. After the flooding rains that we've seen for the month of May, maybe 5 days or more, depending on where you're at, of drying, gives those floodwaters a chance to recede just a little bit. Now, as we go into the 9th and 10th, got another front comes through. Doesn't look near as impressive as it did a week ago, but it's still there. Half-inch rainfall totals over the Corn Belt, coverage about 60%. I'd say half to 1 inch back in the central plains and wheat areas, coverage about 50%. So we'll watch that very, very closely. Otherwise, temperatures as we go through next week, do not be surprised if you hear other forecast outlets talking about heat. Maybe temperatures sneaking up into the mid-80s in parts of the central and eastern Corn Belt. Here's the thing, with as slow as we've started this year on the temperature side with some cold air coming in, even cold air in on Sunday, I think we're going to want some of that warm air, gain some heat units there, and it's coming after a rain, so it's not like we're going to dry things out and stress things badly. Sunshine will be wanted, will be needed, so yes, you may hear some people talk about heat. It may be tried to talk about in a bad way. I don't think it can be at this point. Mid-80s, low to mid-80s. Honestly, that's not that far above normal for this time of year. That's what we've got in your weather update. If you've got questions on the weather, give me a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.